Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Member 365 webinar this afternoon. And our topic is about tags versus contact demographics, unlocking precision engagement. I'm your host for this afternoon's webinar. My name is Carlo Nogango. I'm likewise a customer success coach here, so we may probably cross paths in helping or assisting you in your tickets. We may have communicated via chat or a Zoom call, or probably have helped you onboard your program, currently helping you onboard your program. I believe in the maxim, your success is our success, because these webinars are exactly designed to do that, to help you succeed in managing your membership using the various tools and features that are in your program. Okay. And so if you succeed in utilizing all these tools in managing a membership, we succeed as well. Because we are all here for you to help you manage your membership in the most efficient manner. So what are we going to discuss this afternoon? We'll be discussing, of course, tags and contact demographic. What are they? Okay. And what's the difference between specifically my tag or a shared tag? Okay. And we'll be discussing how to create a shared tag and a my tag, and how to create a contact demographic as well. And of course, we'll be discussing how to apply them respectively, how to apply a tag, how to apply a contact demographic, and how do we use them in terms of checking who are tagged with a specific tag or a contact demographic through the various reports. And we'll be discussing best practices to actually think about when creating or using tags and contact demographic. And then, of course, at the end of this webinar, we'll be entertaining the questions. And as a in-house rule, we'll be muting everyone throughout the course of this webinar. But at the end of this webinar, like as mentioned, we will be entertaining questions. There's a Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Please use that in writing down any of the questions that you may be thinking of. That way we can discuss them at the end of this webinar, okay? You can take notes, but just to let you know that this is recorded, and we will be sharing with all attendants today a copy of this webinar. So even if you don't or fail to take notes, this recording will be made available to you. Okay. And we will be uploading this webinar in our YouTube channel found in the video section of our knowledge base section right in front of your dashboard screen. Okay. Let's go ahead and dive into the program. Okay. So what is a tag? A tag, basically, from the name itself, it's a tag. Think of it as an attribute or a specific detail that you want a contact to be linked with or associated with. An example is an attribute or a detail like prospective members. Like a contact may not be currently a member, but he can be a prospective member. So you can create that tag and then tag or associate that specific contact with that specific attribute or detail. That way, down the road, when you want to produce a report targeting everyone that has that tag or detail or attribute, then the system will produce you that report, and you can send them an email, or you can communicate with them using various means. Okay. Now, what is a contact demographic? A contact demographic acts the same way as a tag, actually. Yeah. Again, you can think of it as an attribute or a detail that you want a contact to be linked with a contact demographic. But a contact demographic can give you more information. A tag is just a tag, but a contact demographic, you can attach a questionnaire or a form, okay, that you want to collect more details from your contact, thereby building a more detailed and dense demographic profile for your contacts. Okay. As one example is, say, a contact demographic called volunteer. And then you want to attach a questionnaire like what volunteer days they want to volunteer. And then give them that choice like Saturday or Sunday. And that can actually reside as well on their contact profile page. Okay. So very useful in building a demographic profile for your members. Okay. On the program, you may run into some modules where you may see the term contact classifications. Okay. It used to be named that way, contact classification, but we've changed it to contact demographic. So moving forward, we'll be using that term, and we have been using that, but you may see some term in the program where contact classification still exists. So that's actually a contact demographic detail. Okay. Now, how do we create, or before we go to the creation part, what's the difference between a my tag and a share tag? Okay. So we're into this contact profile of this test account. Okay. Share tags are actually tags that were created to be shared and used by other admins. Okay. So if you click on this share tag button, it will show us all the tags that can be shared and used by other administrators. Okay. My tags are tags that I create as an admin, but only I can use them. They cannot be seen by other admins, nor they can be used by other admins. They can't see it, so they can't use it. So it's just my own tags. Okay. Clicking on my tags button, it will show all the tags that I created. How do I create a tag of my own? My tag, just type in, say, any tag that you want, say candidate, and hit enter, and there you go. So I just created a my tag called candidate, and I just tagged this contact with this tag. Okay. So when I click on my tags, it will appear on the list as well. Removing a tag is easy. Just click on the X button. It will remove that tag. Okay. Another way of seeing an inventory of your tags instead of clicking on my tags section is by going to my account and then my profile. Let me go to another page. That way I don't lose this page that we have. So I go to my account, my profile, and then I go to my tags. Here is a list of or inventory of your own tags that you do not share with other admins. You can delete them and you can edit them in this section as well. Okay. Let's go back to our profile example. Now in share tags, like I said, click on it and then choose the specific tag that you want this contact to be affiliated with. And then it will appear at the bottom of the page called selected tags and click apply. And there you go. I just tagged this contact as a speaker. Okay. Now, how do you create a tag? Okay. Creating a tag is simple. You just have to go to contacts. Again, let's go to this other tab. Go to contacts, settings, and then click on shared tags. This page will show you all the tags that are shared, that are created. Okay. And it is here that you can, just like in the my tag section, that you can edit or delete them. Okay. And this is a good opportunity while you're in this page to actually make a cleanup, house cleaning of all your tags, making sure that there are no duplicates maybe. Okay. We recommend as a best practice, say on a regular basis or interval, like on a monthly basis, go to this page and review if other admins may have created a duplicate tags. Okay. And then this is where you can actually delete some of those tags. But before you delete those tags, because once you delete those tags, they will be deleted from the profile of the contacts that has them. Okay. So we recommend running a report of whoever has these tags, okay? And then tag them accordingly with the duplicate, okay? Or you run a report of this duplicate tag and keep them aside and tag them with the tag that you intend to keep. And then that's the time that you can delete the duplicated tag, okay? One of the best practices is we recommend maintaining a ledger or a list of your tags and what defines them, their definition, and where do you intend to use them? What group of contacts you intend to use them? So maintaining a ledger or a list or a legend will definitely help you, especially if you're sharing that list with other admins. That will prevent or mitigate a situation where other admins can create a tag on a different version, like different spelling, with space or without space, thereby avoiding a situation where tags can be duplicated, like in this case, right? Finance tag is appearing twice, and archive member, archive, and archive employee are in here. So again, one of the best practices is in this page, and clean it up every month or in a regular interval. Now, how do we create a tags? Okay, click on Create Tags button, and it'll bring us to this page. Now, there are two types again, two types of shared tags. One is contact tag, and one is organization, because you can tag or tie up a tag on a contact level, a specific contact profile, and in an organization as well. So if you tag an organization, then all those contacts that have that organization, or what we call the system related contacts, they will be tagged that specific organization tag. Okay. So either you create an organization tag or a contact tag. Okay. So let's create a contact tag called members. Okay. And there you go. So once you create that tag, and then you go to the profile of a contact, then you can search for that specific tag through shared tag, and then look for that tags. Prospective members will appear in here. And then click apply, and there you go. We just tag this contact as a prospective member. That way I can send an email to this contact or anyone that I tag in the past with prospective members tag, inviting or encouraging them to enroll to a membership. Now, how about contact demographic? How do we create a contact demographic? But before we go there, a contact demographic can be applied to a contact, again, to his contact page. Scrolling down the page, and you'll see them. Just basically checking off the box. Okay. And then we've tied this contact with this contact demographic called Exhibitor. Okay. Let's create a contact demographic, and then we'll do this exercise again. Okay. There are two ways to create a contact demographic. Because contact demographic can be a form itself. It can be created through the form section, going to modules, form, and then create. And here's we are presented with the different forms of the program. We can discuss forms on a different webinar or on a different occasion. And I think we have a video regarding form creation already. Okay. But for this webinar, we'll be discussing only contact demographic. And again, just like in the same principle as tags, having an organization tag, a contact demographic can be in itself its own thing, as well as an organization demographic. Okay. But in this case, let's discuss a contact demographic. Okay. And let's create one by clicking on the create button. So this is one way, going to modules, form, and then create. And another way of creating a contact demographic, aside from the forms section, is going to contacts, settings, just like how we did it on the shared tags. And we go to contact demographic. Okay. Now this time it's only a contact demographic that we can create under the contacts header. So clicking create contact demographic button will bring us to this page, mainly because it's a form. It brings us to the form creation. Okay. Form setup creation page. Let's name this volunteer. Okay. Volunteer. And we categorize this under membership. Okay. Allow resubmission if you're allowing them to resubmit this form. You can lock this form to prevent accidental erasure from fellow admins. If you want to share this form submission with other contacts other than admins, you can click this, yes. And notice there's a share form submissions on top of this page. Okay. And you can tell the system if you want to share the results of this contact demographic form to anyone that belongs to any of these membership category that you're checking, or based on organizations categories, or based on the contact demographic, or based on a specific contact, you can cherry pick a specific contact that you want to share the form submissions or the reports of this form. But if you're want to limit the report just for admins, just turn this off. Okay. There is likewise an access point in here where you tell the system who can access or who will be linked with this contact demographic automatically. Say if you click certified, then everyone who becomes a member of the certified membership will be linked with this contact demographic. Okay. But if none is actually checked off, you will need to manually go to their profile and check it off, which we will be doing later on for training purposes. Again, you can cherry pick a specific contact who you want to be linked with this contact demographic or to a list that you created on our list builder. Again, the list can be another webinar, okay? And we have a webinar already that we've saved on our knowledge base section in our YouTube channel that you can check. So let's go back to the setup tab. Now let's create a question, specific question for this form. Let's click Launch Form Editor. And let's use the radio button question option set. Okay. Click on Setup, and then let's ask the question. When we go here, possible answers can be Saturday and Sunday. There you go. You save the question. Click on save, and then let's publish this contact form. Oh, I have a volunteer. Volunteer, right side. And let's click publish. And there you go. So if we go back to our example of a contact, and then we refresh the page. Okay. When we scroll down to contact demographic, there it is, the volunteer contact demographic. If we check this off, meaning we're, again, attaching this contact to this volunteer contact demographic. What does this eyeball means? This means that if we check this off, okay, on the member portal of the contact, they will know that we've attached his profile to this volunteer contact demographic. Okay, and that's one difference between a tag and contact demographic. As mentioned a while ago, on a tag, the contact will know that you tag them with the speaker or prospective members tag. But you can make it so that they will know that they have been tagged with a contact demographic. But if you want to hide it, you can by simply bring your cursor on this eyeball and to hide it and confirm. If you see that icon in there, that means it's hidden from their profile in the member portal. But let's make it visible so I can show you how they will be able to see this contact demographic in their profile, and they can update that form. So we go to the impersonate feature, as if we're impersonating them, to go to the member portal so that we can see what they see when they're logged into the member portal. And there you go. So we go to my account, and then my profile, and then here is the volunteer contact profile, contact demographic form. And here's the form that we created. When do you want to volunteer? Saturday or Sunday. They can update that and click on save extended fields so they can save the responses on the form. Okay. So that's how they actually be able to see a contact demographic that's attached to their profile. But like I said, you can always hide it. That way they will know that you've attached this contact demographic to them. Okay. Another way of seeing or updating the form from the CRM section as an admin is going to this contact demographic itself, clicking on it, and the system will show you their form responses, or you can update this form on your behalf. Okay, and then click save. Okay. Now, how about the reports? Okay. So two ways. First is on a tag. You can go to tags, reports, and then go to share tag. Okay. This is where the system will list all the tags, but you can zero in a specific tag, like say 2020 donor, and the system will show you everyone that's tagged with that tag. There's no one at this point. Let's look at the one that we created a while ago, which is perspective. What's perspective number? Yeah, so oh, let's use one variable. And here we go. Okay, and then you can export this to Excel. Okay. Another way of producing a report is through our list builder. Again, there's another webinar for this. But to quickly go over it, let's create one. Okay. Say volunteers. Okay. Those that were tagged with or linked with a contact demographic called volunteer. Okay. And I'll choose to share it. Keeping it private means it's only me that can access this list, or sharing it means other admins can see and use this list. Click continue, and the system will show us this page where it shows all these filter criteria. So if we're focusing on those that are tagged with the volunteer contact demographic, I go to contacts, right? And then go to, again, classification. So that means this is a contact demographic. Okay, we will be updating this soon. Okay. Click on classifications, and then there you go. Is click on volunteer contact and then click save. And the system will show you everyone that we tagged or associated with that contact demographic. Okay. And you could do the same for tags as well. Okay. Name this as a prospective member list, and then go to the tags criteria, and then go to shared contact tags and look for that tag that we created, prospective members, and then click save, and the system will produce a report everyone that was linked with that tag. Okay. So once you create that list, okay, created the volunteers list, we go to the list page by going to list and then manage list. Here it is. Here's the list that we've created for the volunteer contact demographic list. And you can send them an email by clicking on the envelope icon. It'll bring you to our email campaign tool, targeting contacts with the contact demographic called volunteers. And you can even mass tag contacts in this list by clicking on the tag icon. So again, since we're discussing about tags, it's another way of tagging contacts. Aside from going to the member profile, you can tag them by batch using the list builder here. So everyone that will be on this list can be tagged on a batch basis, okay? Or on a mass basis. Okay, so yeah, that's the way on how to create a tag, create a contact demographic, and how to apply them on a contact and how to produce a report. Okay. Now, best practices to think about. First, we need to define a tagging strategy early on before we even create a tag. We need to decide what tags are used for. Okay. So that they don't become cluttered, just like what we've seen on our list a while ago. We intentionally made those duplicates that way to give you an idea of how cluttered it can be when we don't have a tagging strategy early, okay? And we suggest creating, again, a ledger or a list of your tags and contact demographics with their definitions and what are they intended for. And you can please share them with your fellow admins. That way, other admins will be focused on using those already created tags rather than creating different versions of tags. A monthly cleaning of all your tags is necessary on a monthly basis, just to make sure that other admins may not have created a duplicate of other tags. Okay. Use shared tags for team consistency rather than my tag. Okay. Because in shared tags, okay, they already seen the tags that you created. Then they don't have to create their version of tags or a shared tags. So shared tags is what we recommend you using. That way, again, it prevents duplicated tags from happening. Okay. Use tags for quick action. Yeah, we've shown that a while ago, right? Tags are searchable and even contact demographics are searchable in the list builder. So make sure that when you create a contact demographic or list builder, create a list already. That way it's readily available for you when the time comes when you want to produce a report, anyone who's linked with a contact demographic or a tag, or anytime that you want to send this group of contacts an email or an email blast. Okay. Use consistent field formats, especially in contact demographic where you use the form or a questionnaire, rather than using a free text type of question where they can freely text or enter a specific value on the response. Use a multiple choice type of question, just like the one that we created a while ago for a volunteer choosing Saturday or Sunday, rather than letting them type it freely Saturday or Sunday. And if they mistype it, it creates a different variation on the response report. And a good example here is like on provinces, if you have a list of province and make it a list for them to choose rather than a free text, they can type Nova Scotia or even NS, then you'll find it a little bit complicated in the reports. And last but not least, keep it simple for members. You don't overload members with too many questions, especially in the contact demographic side when you create your questionnaire. Collect those that are important first, the essentials, then use follow-up workflows to enrich their reports. Okay. Now, do you have any questions? Okay. Please write down your questions on the Q&A button below your screen. Okay. Let's wait for questions. There's one question here. How did you get the donor banner to appear on the user profile? That's actually a good question, but not related to contact tags and the contact demographic. Okay. I'll share with you a knowledge-based article with regards to how to make that the donor banner to appear on the user profile. Thank you. And we have another question here. Can you migrate a tag from my tag to shared tag? No, you can't, unfortunately. You need to create that shared tag. Okay, you cannot transform a my tag to a shared tag or vice versa. We have another question. Can tags be imported with contacts or do they need to be created separately? Okay. Yeah, once you go to our list builder, and when you export the report for tags or contact demographic, you'll have the ability to actually tell the list builder what attributes or details you want to be included in the report. Okay. Contact name, organization, address. Okay. So yeah, you have the option to actually include other contact details on that report. The list builder is a very versatile and customized report creation tool, and it'll give you that leeway as well or option to what you want to be included on the report when you export it to Excel. So if you happen to think of any other questions down the road, you can always visit your dashboard. Okay. We have our knowledge base articles in there. You can connect with us to live chat if your subscription allows it, or in Zoom call, and we can hop in Zoom. Again, if your subscription allows it, or submit a ticket. Then within 24 to 48 hours, we'll be attending to your inquiries. And we would like to highlight our M365 Assistant. It's an AI-based tool. It's found on top of your page. It's a new tool that we just rolled out. I think that was a couple of months ago. So we're so excited to present it to our clients. Please use it because it's AI-based. You don't have to, if you feel that you're too lazy to read our knowledge base articles or watch our videos, then our M365 Assistant is the right fit for you. Because our M365 Assistant or AI-based tool looks at those videos and reads those articles, type in your question, just like Chat GPT, then it will provide you the answers that you need. And if in case that you are not satisfied with the answer, it will give you an option to escalate it into a ticket, and it will be sent to us and customer support. Okay. Again, we will be attending to your tickets on a timely manner. And again, I would like to request everyone to visit our page, our Member 365 page. Okay. At the bottom of the screen, there's a webinar section where you can see all future webinars that you can register. And then future webinars, we will be announcing it on the platform as well. When you log in, probably you'll see those pop-up message highlighting future webinars which you can register. Again, I thank you for being available on this webinar. See you on Zoom calls, on tickets, and on future webinars. Enjoy yourself and have a great afternoon.